ahead and record. So welcome everybody. I'm excited for you all to be here. We have a guest speaker today, and she's one of my best friends from college. This is Kara Newton, and I don't know how I can make, let's see, spotlight. I don't know if this works. Oh, there she is. Okay, I haven't actually ever done that before. So Kara and I were good friends in college, got into weird, mischievous, goofy, fun trouble together. And she started as a Younique presenter at like a week or two or something before I started coaching. So we kind of have had parallel, but, you know, different company journeys. And she has worked her way to the top of Younique, which I'm assuming you all know what Younique is, but they're a makeup beauty company, and they have like the long lash, fiber lash extensions. And I thought that's like what you guys were really known for and did best. But then I've been buying the other types of makeup, and I'm actually more in love with the like everything else, which surprised me. I love it all. It's really great stuff. So she speaks at their convention. She just got back from LA, like on Sunday, I'm guessing, from being there at another one of their trainings and conventions. So she is making waves in that world. Last time I looked, she had over 2,000. I don't even know how much it is now, followers on Periscope.
Yeah, I'm at 14,000 now.
Yeah, which is like, for Periscope is crazy. So I mean, just with my business background, I feel like the people that have the longest and best businesses are people that get out of their own fish pond and aren't just like looking at what everybody else is doing. And so that's why it's important. I want to start on these diamond calls introducing speakers that are experts outside of our fish pond. So that's why I wanted Kara to share with you all, just to give some really fresh perspective. She still understands what we do with, you know, relationship marketing and social media marketing, but I think her company does it, you know, things differently. So I think that we're going to get some really good insights from her. So Kara, if I missed any, you know, accolades or like things they need to know about you. She's got three.
I'll give myself accolades.
She's got 3 children that are beautiful and adorable. And yeah, she's just really, really awesome. So, okay, Kara, go ahead. And I'm going to put everybody else on mute just in case we have loud stuff going on. Okay.
All right. So, yeah, like Ashley said, we went to college together, and man, do I kick myself for not recruiting Ashley to Younique. I did not know what I was doing because I had never done direct sales before, but she was actually on my list of people. You know how you make a list? But she had already just joined Beachbody, so I missed out on a huge opportunity with there. So this past summer, I was asked to speak at Younique's national convention in Chicago, and I was asked to speak on the topic of using creativity to engage and connect with your customers, which obviously it was a huge honor and privilege. I hadn't even been with the company a year yet. But before that, I want to start with you know, where I started. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I have a social work background. I have my master's in social work. I've been married to my husband, Luke, for almost 15 years. And before Younique, I was running my own business where I was restoring and painting furniture, and it was going really well. I was at the peak of my season when I joined Younique. And I literally joined Younique because I needed some new makeup. I knew nothing about makeup before joining Younique. And one of my best friends had joined. She was as a hairstylist, my sponsor. And she said, you know, you should just buy the kit. It's a really great deal. And I didn't have any money. So I took 7 pairs of shoes out of my closet, put them up on Facebook and sold them, and bought my kit for $99. I decided to go ahead and have a launch party, which is what we do in Younique. And by the end of my launch party, I reached the level 2 in our company, and I had 3 people signed up underneath me. And so I thought, all right, well, I'll try this. Fast forward 5 months, I was doing so well with the business that I shut down my furniture business and decided to do Younique full time. And so, you know, I'm sure in Beachbody you talk about your why a lot, and my why has changed. I mean, literally it changed from getting some free makeup to buying a house, taking our kids to Disney World, eventually bringing my husband home. So yeah, it's changed a lot, but I think my why is also a little different from my passion. And my passion is what has really grown and kind of solidified in the last year. And my passion is to help women gain confidence. I love that. I love especially to take somebody under me on my team, and someone that shied away from having her picture taken to 3 weeks later plastering selfies all over Facebook. I am a pro selfie girl. I love to see women feeling confident enough to take pictures of themselves. And so really that's become my new why. And obviously the financial gain is icing on the cake. So I don't like to talk numbers, but I also know that there are people out there that speak numbers, that think numbers, who are motivated by numbers. I have a lot of girls on my team motivated by numbers, and numbers give credibility. So I know our businesses are a little different, but I just want to give you some insight into what my business looks like. It started out as just me, just like you, started out at the bottom level of our company, which is white status. And in the last 17 months, I've gone from white status to black status, which is the highest level in our company. I have about 900 women on my team now. I average between $6,000 and $8,000 a month in sales. And I am one of the 15 women who has sold over $100,000 of unique product. I'm actually one of the very few that will reach $150,000 in lifetime sales. So how have I done that? I literally have done it all through Facebook. I don't have time to do face-to-face. I don't have time to do home parties. My life, Facebook is what works with my life. My cell phone is what works with my life. And so I've done it all through Facebook. And like Ashley said, I just want to teach you kind of what I have learned about selling this product through social media. And so the very first thing, the first point that I'm sure you know and talk about is that people buy from someone that they trust. And so in order to trust someone, you have to feel like you've gotten to know them. And that is hard when you're talking about social media because there is a wall here. You wouldn't, and I've primarily created this trusting atmosphere with customers through videos. That is the backbone of my business. That is what has catapulted me to the top of the company. However, I also think that one of the things that has changed the way my business runs is when I started to view what my number one product was. And I love the mascara, I love the makeup, but my number one product is the experience that I give my customers. And for us in Younique, it's our parties. And so for you in Beachbody, I know it's a little different, but we still operate within groups on Facebook. And when I started to view that group, that experience that I was giving as my number one product, my business took off. And for me, realizing that that's my number one product. So when I know that's my number one product, what do I need to do? I need to prepare. I need to prepare and make sure that that experience, that they're receiving the best me. And so the very first thing I do in my group, in my parties, is I create a welcome video. And I'm sure this is not news to you all, but that video puts me in front of them immediately. So before any post is made, there's a video of me promising 3 things. I'm going to promise not to annoy them. I'm going to promise to give them some cool tricks to do with their makeup. And I'm going to promise to give them some products that are going to boost their confidence. I want to promise them those 3 things right off the bat. The other thing is with Facebook algorithms, if there's a video, the very first thing in the group, and they click on it, they've now clicked into my group, which means that they're more likely to see my post run through their Facebook feed. If it's a post and they just see it in their Facebook feed and they don't interact with it, like it, comment it, click on it, they're very unlikely to see the things that are in my group. So I always want to have something that's going to interact with, that's going to force them to interact with me as the very first post. I do this by uploading straight to Facebook. And I mean, I've watched Ashley, so I'm sure you guys may know this, but, you know, downloading to YouTube and then putting that on Facebook, you're much less likely to get interaction with your viewer than if you upload the video straight to Facebook, because it creates one more click that they have to make with YouTube. And they're just not as likely to do that. Whereas when a video is uploaded straight to Facebook and they see me moving around, acting crazy, they're kind of like, what's that chick doing? And they click on it, and now they've entered my group. So in my groups, in my parties, when I'm running them, mine are for 10 days. And I have a video, I have 3 posts a day for 10 days. And every day there's at least one video. I want to be up in front of them. I want them to see my voice every day. I want them to actually hear me talk about the products. I want them to see my passion for the products. I want to show them how the products work, what to do with them. I want to teach them something. And I want them to just really start seeing my personality, starting to get to know me. I want them to laugh with me, but even more than that, I want them to laugh at me. I love the quote, we are drawn to people through their weaknesses, not their strengths. Or we connect with people through their weaknesses, not their strengths. And I have found that to be so true. People have really connect with me when I'm most vulnerable, when I'm willing to be silly, when I'm willing to show my flaws and mistakes. That's how the customer quickly, or the viewer quickly, feels a connection to me. And ultimately, that connection, that confidence is what builds the trust enough to purchase from me. They think I like her, I like what she's doing, I think I trust her enough to get up out of my couch in my pajamas, to get my purse, to get my wallet and buy. That's what ultimately causes them to do that. And so I also like to think about, what is the customer thinking? So about whatever product it is. So for you, it would be your products, your workout videos. What are the questions? And sometimes it's hard when you've been in the business long enough. You forget what the viewer is actually thinking when they first hear about a product. But I like to sit down and think, okay, what would my questions be about this product? And I want to address those questions. So for me, right, for Younique, how does this product work? Is it going to be clumpy? Am I too old for this? Is the bronzer going to make me look orange? Does the cream shadow really crease? How long does the lip stain really last? So those questions, when I think about what the questions of the viewer are going to be, that's what I want to gear my post towards, because that's going to build trust. They're going to think, she's answering the questions I'm already thinking. She's like me. And that's what you want. They begin to trust you when you approach your groups in this way. They see you're a real person with the same questions that you have. And I'll often in my posts get comments like, you read my mind, or I was just going to ask that. That's what you want. That means they're connecting with you. You know, for us, and I don't know what it would be for Beachbody necessarily, but for us, just throwing up a picture of lashes and saying, can you believe these lashes? Well, guess what? Yes, they can, because everybody has seen the lashes plastered all over their Facebook feed. Yes, they can believe it. You have to go beyond that. Throwing something like that up is not entering the mind of your customer. If you enter their world with their questions, they're going to start to trust you. The other thing too is my posts are always of me. They're always of me, and they're always of people that I know. They are not graphics. They are not stock images. I can give a name to the person in the picture that I post if it's not me. And this creates trust. For me, like if I post a picture of a girl and it says, this is Angie. Angie was a student of mine. Angie bought the mascara from me. Angie wanted to know if the mascara was going to be clumpy. What do you think? And I show a picture of Angie's lashes. It feels so much more like a conversation rather than a sales pitch when I can actually talk about the experience of the person in the picture. And I think for you guys, that'll be really important, because I know that you use stories and testimonies of people probably way more than I even do. But you can tell in my business when a presenter just throws up a picture that she found on Pinterest, or she steals a picture from somebody else on Facebook, because it says, I have not personally experienced this. I don't actually know this person or know her experience with this. And what you're doing is creating distrust with the customer. Another way that trust is created with your viewer is when they feel respected. And one of the major ways that we can do this on social media is by respecting their time. So just like in a conversation, we don't want to monopolize. We don't want to monopolize their time with our posts and our videos. So I try to keep my posts to no more than 5 sentences. And this is how I do it. For me, I know it probably is going to be a little different for you guys because you're explaining a lot more than I am. But if it's going to be more than 5 sentences, often what will happen is you're going to see that little see more button and they're going to have to click it. What you're trying to do is to prevent them from having to do any more work than possible. And so often, if we're scrolling through our Facebook newsfeed and we have to click that see more button, we won't read beyond the see more. So I try and keep it to about 5 sentences. If it needs to be longer, then I'll make a video about it. Now, with the videos, for me, I keep my videos between right around 3 minutes or under. for in my parties. Now, if it's for you, for my trainings and things like that, obviously it's going to be a little bit longer. But the reality is most of our viewers are quickly scrolling through their news feed while they're standing in the checkout lane at Target or waiting in school drop-off lines. And they don't have 8 to 10 minutes to watch a video, and nor do they really want to. They're on Facebook to be quickly informed and to be entertained. That's why we're on there. Another way to create trust, don't try to be perfect, just be professional. Whew, I get this a lot in my company. So we have people who have fabulous pictures and videos, and I know Ashley's one of them. I mean, her videos and pictures are to die for. I get jealous every time I look at them because they're so fabulous. And that can often make you feel as a presenter for me, like, oh, my pictures are terrible, I can't do this. But that's not true. We are here to relate to the average woman. And so for me, not everything is perfect. So you might see a kid run through the background, and that's okay. I might fumble over my words in a couple of my videos, and that's okay because they're relating to me as a real person. Now, what you don't want to do is get into the area of being distracting. So I have presenters that have children that are like crawling on their head and falling into the computer. You know, that comes to the point where it becomes distracting and you want to stay professional. So, you know, you want to have elements like good lighting. Man, one thing that will make me shut a video off faster than anything is if I can't really see the person's face or the lighting's really harsh. It's just hard on my eyes, and so I'll turn it off. You want to be organized. So if you're talking about a product or if you're explaining something and you need to show them something, you want to have it ready and available. If you're fumbling around looking for it, what that says to me as the viewer is you did not take the time to prepare for this, and so I will not give you the time to watch this. It's very important in my line of work, and I'm sure with some of the things that you're doing that would be true too. You know, part of giving time is properly thanking the customer. For me, you know, I'm thanking them in the group that I'm in and I'm tagging them, but I'm also messaging them. And I have a video that I created for my customers that purchase that is just, they're able to hear it from my mouth. Thank you so much for this purchase and for supporting me. Your support is what helps me stay home with our kids and helps us do fun things as a family together. And so thank you. Just by saying that creates a connection between her and I. And then more often than not, we start talking on Facebook, and then guess what? I can add her as a friend because we've then created this relationship through the messages because of that video. And then when I add her as a friend, guess what? She can be in my customer group now. And then she'll continue to buy from me, and I'll continue to be her makeup girl. So it all starts with taking the time to really properly thank. And then by the end of the party, or for me, the end of, you know, my party, if I've kept my promises of not being annoying, giving them some tools, and maybe giving some things to build their confidence, I am so much more likely to gain customers. And for me, I need hostesses. So in my business, the way that I expand my circle is by having someone say, hey, I want you to do what you just did for her, for me and my friends. And so, you know, going back to, you know, your average viewer on Facebook, they're there to be informed and entertained. People are not on Facebook to buy. That's not why they're on there. So you've got to get past that barrier by doing what they're on there for, which is informing them and entertaining them. They don't want you to waste their time, and they don't want to be bored, right? They definitely don't want you to tell them what they have to do or have to buy. They are looking for a fun and pleasant experience. And so this goes back to what I said earlier about your, for me, your party, your group being your number one product. So without my parties, okay, my business doesn't expand. And I'm sure it's true for you. Without your groups, your business doesn't expand. So for me, you know, I've got 13 parties happening right now at one time. They're in 13 different places in the country with 13 women that I don't know, with all of their friends that I don't know. It's expanding my network. That's why I have 13,000 followers on Periscope and almost 10,000 on Facebook, because my network just keeps expanding through these parties. And the reason is because they experienced something that they wanted to duplicate with their friends. This is why getting them to trust you is so important. You want them to be proud to introduce you to their friends. So many of my hostesses' introductions start something like this. I know what you're all thinking, another online party. I thought the same thing too, but you've never been in one of Kara's parties. Hers are different. Hers are so fun. You're going to love her. And so what that tells me is they came into my party with a distrust for the online platform. And then by getting to know me and watching my videos and learning who I am, they trusted that I could do it in a way that would appeal to them. And so trust, I mean, that is the foundation of a successful business. The next point is that people buy from someone who is consistent. So I have a customer-based group. Ashley's actually in that group. And that was my original group on Facebook. It was my original launch party with my people in it. And this is the group I add all of my hostesses to. I add all of my customers to that I connect with. And I'm now up to almost 1,300 members in that group that are just my customers. The people in this group are for me. They feel like they've been a part of the journey with me. They feel like they are a part of my success. They're listening and observing to how I run my business. They're watching everything I do. And my goal here is to make and keep loyal customers and then hopefully move some of them into presenters with me. But the only way to do that in this group is to be consistent. And so in this customer group of mine, what I do every 6 to 8 weeks is I create another themed event, and that runs about 5 days. My very first one was called From Junk to Spunk, getting rid of your junk and getting back your spunk with the top 5 products I think you need in your makeup drawer. And we did it for 5 days. And so it wasn't the regular beauty bash that I hold for all of my hostesses. It was something new, something fresh, a new idea. I did one in September that was called No Peaking, with the idea that, society tells us as women that at some point we're going to peak in our physical appearance. And so this series was about saying no to peaking, a beauty that lasts a lifetime. It was my highest party to date. It topped out over $4,000. It was a 5-day event. They loved it. I just keep running them in that group. It keeps them engaged. It keeps them excited. Let's see. I post in this group about 3 to 4 times a week just to stay consistent with different looks that I'm doing or different things that I'm doing with my makeup. I keep it about my life. When I was in LA, they all knew I was in LA and why I was in LA. I make sure that I thank them, that I'm constantly giving my affections for them, that it's because of them I'm where I am. I make videos about questions they ask for me, so I'm constantly keeping new and fresh ideas happening in that group so that I am constantly on their mind as their makeup girl. That's what I want. You don't want someone else coming through their news. I don't want someone else with Younique coming through their news feed, and because I haven't been fresh on their mind, they forget about me. I want them to always know that I'm the unique girl in their life. And so consistency creates engaged, loyal customers who want to be a part of what you're doing. They want to be a part of it. And then finally, the last thing is that people buy from someone who's excited and creative. So I talked to you about the different types of themes that I did in my customer group. They're seeing things in that group that they're not seeing in other groups. And that's what keeps them interested. New and creative ways of doing things, that intrigues people. That makes people stop and look. That makes them want to join and be a part of it. Because I'm showing different options for different types of parties and different themes, someone that did a regular beauty bash with me, all of a sudden I was like, hey, can we do a junk to spunk with my friends now? And so I'm constantly pulling them in, keeping them in with me. Now, huge thing on my team page. My team's called Team Flourish. On Team Flourish page, we talk about graphics, and they are not allowed at all. No graphics. Putting up a graphic in my parties, it's not what draws people in. And that's hard because I know that with all the apps that we have now, it's really easy to make really great, pretty cute graphics that you could spend hours on getting the perfect font, and it's so awesome. But the reality is, when someone is scrolling through their Facebook feed, all they see is a graphic. They see an ad, and they don't stop. So for me, it's really important that my face is in the picture of whatever the product is that I'm talking about, whatever it is that I'm doing. It's my face or someone that I know's face is in it. And then nothing is too crazy for me to do picture-wise. That's what catches their attention. When you think about vacation pictures, so if your friend goes on vacation and she comes back and she shows you her pictures, when you're looking at them, you can look through so many scenery pictures before you start to get a little bored. It's just the truth. It doesn't matter how beautiful it is. we'll look at them for so long and still be interested, because our eyes are attracted to people. And so we want to see pictures of people. So we want to see that sunset, but man, if your family's in the picture, it's so much more interesting. You know, we want to see that picture of your food at dinner, but man, if you're taking a picture of your husband sitting in front of it, it's so much more interesting. That's just what we want to look at. That's what we as humans, that's what catches our attention. And if we can take pictures with an eye-catching expression, so you'll notice in a lot of my pictures, my eyes are big, because all of a sudden, look, my eyes are big, and you just like, what is she doing? You're going to see my face. My mouth is big. I'm making big movements, big expressions, because that's what pulls people in. That's what causes them to be interested. And probably the biggest hurdle for a lot of my girls is getting over the fact that it's okay to look silly in pictures, because that's what pulls people in. You know, think about why you love a particular product. What do you love about it? Take a picture demonstrating that, or make a video demonstrating that. You have no idea how that's going to connect, you know, with your viewer. I love our lip stains, and I can, you know, you'll see a lot of Younique presenters kissing their hand all day long. To me, it just didn't connect with me. I'm like, okay, whatever. I like chapstick. And so I put my lip stain on, and then I took the chapstick and put it on my lips and showed them, there's no lip stain on this chapstick. Crazy. It was like 10 seconds long, but do you know how many lip stains I sold that day? Because that's what clicked in their minds. Just when I showed them what I loved about the product. I love that I can wear chapstick with the lip stain. Okay. Let's see. Also, for joining my team. So in July, Younique ran a campaign for recruiting, and I was the #1 recruiter in our company. In July, I recruited 47 women. And the reason I recruited them, and I recruited most of them out of that customer group, is I sat and I thought, why did I join Younique? I joined Younique because I wanted the makeup kit. That's what I wanted. So how do I get women like me to join Younique? I need to tell them about the makeup kit, and that they can just join Younique for the makeup kit. And we call women like me kidnappers. I don't know if you guys have anything like that in Beachbody, but that means that they buy the kit with no intention of selling. They just want a really great deal on the kit. So what did I do? I dressed up like a robber, like a thief, and I had the kit in my hand, and I took this ridiculous picture of me, and I said, hi, my name is Tara, I'm a kidnapper. And they loved it. They thought it was amazing. Now, did I get some kidnappers out of it? Absolutely. More than half of them are kidnappers. But I did get a few rock stars out of it, just because I presented it in a way that I knew worked for me. How can I make this work for someone like me? And so so what I would do is sit down. Why do you love this product? Write it all out, and then find a way to do it. Why did you join your company? Write it all out and find a creative, fun way of presenting that. Being excited and creative, that is what's going to draw in even your biggest skeptics. The manner in which you present your company is going to cause your business to sink or swim. And if it's genuine and consistent and creative, you're going to fly. The more you put yourself out there, the more confident you're going to become. I always tell my girls, it's like a muscle. And you guys can relate to this. It's like a muscle. It's sore, and it's uncomfortable, and it's awkward at first. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes, and the stronger you get, and then the more you can do. And I always tell them that about videos, because they're so afraid to do videos. That it's awkward, it's uncomfortable, it's painful, but the more you do it, the stronger you become at it. Your customer needs to feel connected to you in order to be loyal to you. That's just the bottom line. They will go to someone else if they do not feel a connection to you. And to create this, you must consistently put yourself out there, consistently. You have to get over the stigma of direct sales and realize that if you're not consistently putting yourself out there, they will go to somebody else. For me, it's my parties, but view your groups and your business pages as your #1 product. That is your #1 product. That's what you're selling them on. Give them that experience. It's the experience that you're selling. Give them an experience. And your customer, they're going to come back to you asking to have a similar experience for their friends and for herself. And not only that, she's going to be so attracted to the way that you do your business. You're going to gain a customer for life, but you may just gain a team member too. So be genuine so that they trust you, consistent so that they stay loyal to you, and then creative so that they join you. So that's all I have for you guys today. I think, Ashley, you said you wanted to open up for questions.
Ashley, you're still muted.
Okay, I tried to unmute everybody, but I unmuted everybody but myself, Kelly and Kendra. So Kelly and Kendra, I can't tell if you remuted yourself or not, but Kara, that was so good. That was so wonderful and helpful. I loved it. You know, it's like you get in your own groove in your own world and you kind of like hear the same things or, you know, over and over. And I think that you said just, you know, it's like the obvious things, but you made them really practical, like really broke. I mean, I am not really a note taker and I have 30 points that I wrote down. So,
yeah, I know you're not a note taker.
so I love it. Gosh, yeah. I mean, just even like, so I don't know if I told you this ever, but I'm blocked from my personal page from posting videos. Facebook, somebody flagged a picture of Malachi in a towel and they just don't fix the bugs. Like they just don't respond to you. So that really stinks. That makes me mad. Do you think that in your groups, when you post videos, that it helps your affinity outside of the group or only inside of that group?
So what I do, okay, so pretty much anyone that is a female friend of mine on Facebook is in that group of mine. And here's the thing why the group, for me, works better than a business page. Because every time I post in that group, I am friends with everyone in that group. Mm-hmm. So yes, I'm friends with all 1,300 members in that group. They get notified every time I post. Whereas in a business page, they don't get notified. They don't get.
You're saying in your customer group?
Yeah, in my customer group. Mm-hmm. And also, if I'm interacting with them outside of the group, so on my Facebook wall, if I comment up on their post or we message about something, they for sure see it from that group because Facebook says, oh, you're friends outside of that group. I'm definitely going to show you.
Yeah, I don't know what I can do about that. That makes me really mad because I had to make an alias to post video in my group. But it's not, you know what I mean? I'm not growing that group, that feed or anything. I haven't even been posting on my personal as much because it's like almost like why. So I'm doing my business page and then just running the group. So stink. Well, you guys take advantage of that because that's something that I am blocked from as far as just the affinity of helping my feed. But
yeah, I have a business page and I have, you know, between 4,000 and 5,000 followers on it, but I honestly get more interaction out of my group than I do my business page.
Right. No, that's really good. I'm going to keep looking through my notes and see if I have what specific questions. Well, I do have one. Just how much time do you feel like you spend, like percentage wise, with your basically customers and prospects compared to training your coaches and like feeding them and helping them?
That's a great question. I got asked that a lot. So this last weekend I was on our Black Status retreat. So it was all the top leaders in the company. And I got asked that a lot because I have the highest sales volume in that group. Here's the reality. I work a lot and I don't pretend that I don't. I tell people I work a lot. I work more than full time. My husband and I have made the decision that that's kind of where our life is right now for what we'd like it to be in 5 years. I'm thankful that I get to do it at home. I spend probably 75% on my personal business and 25% on my team. Now that fluctuates depending on what's going on. You know, like in November when I hit Black Status, it was 100% and 100%. 100% my business, 100% my team. So all I did was work. But I think personally, I have always told my team, this is what I've always told my team, and I don't know exactly how it works in Beachbody, but my team looks very different than most of the Black Status leaders in Younique. And that is because we are a high volume team. We sell a lot because that's what I know. Like that's what I understand. And so that's how I train my girls. And so we sell a lot. So with Younique, I have a very, very wide first level. And I'm not real deep yet. It's very rare for someone to reach the top of the company only having a first level. So I don't have a ton of leaders that go real deep yet, but that's because I have like strong sellers. And my philosophy has always been, if you focus on your own personal business, the rest of it will come because people will be attracted to the way that you're doing it. So I always focus more on my personal business than I do on my team.
That's helpful. And then when you bring people, well, I'm going to let you guys ask questions. What questions do you all have? Because there's a lot of parallels that I see, except for like we do challenge groups.
Right.
We parties.
I was looking for the word. I'm like groups.
Yeah.
Groups.
Yeah. So, we're getting people, yours are like kind of with the intent to sell. Ours are with the intent to get results. So right. I think honestly, we have a better opportunity, but I don't think we're using it. Like you're saying, it's like you see that that's your one shot. And our work is kind of like up front to get the sale, but then we have a huge opportunity. I think we don't know how to grow our network. Like that's what we don't know how to do. I think our price point seems higher, but I know I've bought makeup. I end up spending the same amount. So Kelly, I'd like to hear more about that. Like if you have any just ideas for us for how to take the people that we already have and expand our network. But Kelly, did you have a question?
Yeah. Okay, hold on. It just left my brain though. I was gonna say, in your parties, do you post the same videos? Like if it's a new group of people, you're posting the same video, or are you making new videos every day?
So what I've done is I've worked really hard at creating a script. So I have a script for 10 days and I follow that script because I'm running, like I said, right now I have 13 parties going on at one time. So I'm copying, pasting everything.
Right. Okay.
And then when new products come out, I create a new script. So in March, all of our new products will come out, and then I'll create a new party script that I'll use until August when the new products come.
Okay. And so my other question was like with your videos, about how many videos do you post a day? Just like, and do you post on your, you only post in your group, or do you post on your personal page too?
Okay. So in my parties, in the actual parties, I have 3 posts a day. One of them is a video. In my customer group, which is the group that I'm using to keep people staying with me, I'm posting 3 to 4 times a week. Usually 1 video a week, maybe in that group. And then when I'm doing my series, so then I'll stop and say, okay, I'm getting ready to start a makeup and math series. I'll be doing at least 1 video a day during the series. Now, as far as my personal page goes, that took me a long time to like figure out what the right way to do that is. I feel like that's so hard. You don't want to spam people. You don't want to just be all about sales. For me, because of where I'm at with the company at this point, if I didn't post about Younique, it would be weird. I mean, I feel like that's when people see me, that's what they see now. So I'll post a video occasionally on my wall about makeup application. What winds up happening is like 4,000 presenters end up sharing it, and it's just, kind of gets to be crazy. But, rule of thumb from what I've been told is 80% personal, 20% business on your personal wall. And that's probably what I did for a really long time. More recently, I've probably inverted those numbers just because of, so much of my life revolves around Younique now. So.
Okay, cool. But is a lot of that videos on your personal page? On my personal page,
no.
So,
I probably post I would say 2 videos a month on my personal page. And you're more than welcome to go look at my personal page and just see.
Yeah, I will. I'm going to
take a look. I'm Kara Lewis Newton. There's 2 of us in Younique. And so I had to add my maiden name back in because we were getting so confused. But yeah, feel free to follow me on Facebook. All of it's on there. And you can even take a look in my customer group too. I mean, Ashley can add you to that if you want to see it. But as far as like expanding your business, it was funny. I was just talking with another Beachbody coach about this. And, he was just saying, I don't know how, like with your parties, you can just keep expanding. And with us, it's not the same. So I don't know. I mean, I was saying to him, is there any way to offer incentives for people that are willing to host a challenge group for you and get, if they can get 6 friends to participate in the challenge group, they get half a box of Shakeology. Or, that's how we get hostesses to do parties first, because they're earning rewards for makeup. So I don't know if there's a way to create that kind of thing for you. If someone is willing to host a challenge group and they get so many people that want to do it with them. For you, you only need a few. I need like a few hundred in my groups.
How many people, like if you were to say to me, like, hey, Ashley, do you want to host a party? Like, what's the pitch? Like, what's in it for me? Why would I do that? What are you going to ask me to do? What's my role?
Right.
You know, what's the benefit
So
for the other people?
Most of my hostesses have come from my parties, so they know exactly what my deal is, which is why I said that's your number one product, because if it's something they've experienced and they like, I mean, you don't even have to have a pitch. But after $200 in sales, they then earn credit to start buying on the website, and they start earning half price items. So once a certain number of sales have come in, then they earn free product.
And is that on you, or is that part of like Younique?
No, that's part of our, yeah.
Okay, so $200 in sales, they win product, and then it just goes up from there, or?
Yeah, like at 200, they get 10%. So once they've sold 200, they get $20 to spend, and they get a half price item. As more sells, they'll earn between 10 and 16%, and they can earn between 1 and 4 half price items.
So then do you set up an event? Do they just invite their friends and add them to a group? Like,
I do groups. I don't do events. I do groups. They seem to work better for me, but I have a lot of presenters that use events because with an event they have to respond. And here's my deal with the groups. I am banking on the fact that once they watch my video, I hook them. And even if they didn't think they wanted to be in this group, after they've watched my video, they're now interested. So the person that may not have responded to an event is now interested because they saw it in the group.
It's an open group. Anybody can find it.
Nope, it's a closed group. The hostess adds all of her friends, or whatever friends she wants to add.
And so are you just like, you're going to do it, now you invite your friends, get them in here, or do you tell her a pitch, or you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I say, so in every one of my parties too, I have a post that says, here are the girls that I would do anything for. It's your chance to help out your friend. And I have a crazy picture of me with my friends. And if 3 of you agree to host a party, then Susie's going to get a free product from me. That is on me. I do give her that. If she gets 3 friends to host a party with me, then I'll give her a free product. So that's one thing I do. Now, if I'm just cold call asking people, I'll just say, hey, I'm setting up some beauty bashes this month, and I know we haven't done one. I know you love the products, or I know you've wanted to try the products. Do you think you'd be interested in hosting with me to try and earn some free product? You get more no's than yeses. But obviously I get a lot of yeses, so.
So if I was going to, I said I was going to sign up and throw a party, then if you're my, friend, do I just say, am I just like, oh, okay, hey, Kara, I'm going to do this party thing for makeup. Like, do you want to do it with me? Is it just their responsibility just to kind of invite their friends, basically?
Yeah, so I set the group up, and then I'll message them and say, okay, your group is all set up. All you need to do is add your friends. Now, it's up to them how they want to do that. I leave that up to the hostess. If she wants to personally message them all, fine. If she wants to just add them to the group, and then my recommendation is add them all to the group and then write a post.
And then tell them?
Yeah.
And in the group, do they write stuff in the group or just you?
The hostess, yes. I love it when my hostess posts pictures, writes in the group, because her friends are going to see when she posts every time.
Okay, so you try to ask them to almost co-lead, you encourage.
Yeah, I definitely encourage pictures, commenting, liking, definitely. Because the way Facebook works, they'll get a notification every time she posts.
What about the rest of the people in there? Do they engage and do they post, or no?
I've really changed my philosophy on the whole thing. I don't play games. I hate games. I don't require any interaction. I don't ask questions. I think with our culture, we are a culture that likes to anonymously engage in things. So I've kind of termed that phrase with my team, shoot for anonymous engagement. I want to walk into a store and figure out what I want to buy, and then I'll let you know if I want help. That's just the reality of our culture. So when you open up a group and you start asking them to play games, asking them questions, how do you know the hostess? That immediately, to me, puts up a wall and feels very salesy, because I don't know what you're going to do. If I comment, are you going to message me? Are you going to pressure me? Are you going to ask me to buy? I don't want to do that to them. So immediately, my way of doing that is just the videos. and I began starting doing product tutorials and teaching them something. So I'm giving them something without asking anything in return. And I can have parties where nobody interacts at all. And sometimes it's like 0 sales. Sometimes it's not. I mean, sometimes.
So it's not engagement. It's just you're confident in the fact that you're telling a story and that they really love it.
Exactly.
Okay. Can you, I'm just trying to pick, because I think this is great. And I've always thought, like, why in the heck are people not doing this? I think it's just that they just haven't tried to figure it out. So I'm thinking, like, if let's say we did some type, I mean, people do like clean eating groups and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, that would be good. So maybe, just a clean eating group or like a 7-day.
Is create groups with new social networks. I mean, that's what, in essence, that's what I'm doing. I'm constantly creating groups with a new social network.
Okay.
Constantly expanding.
Right.
So Susie has a group, and then in Susie's group, Kim, Ashley, and Sarah have a party. And so then I have 3 more social networks, and then they have a party, and then I have more social networks. And so
like, instead of like, so let's say we do a free cleaning group, I've thought about doing like a 7-day dare, like fitness dare, where you try kombucha and do different funky health things.
Yeah.
And I try to get.
This isn't selling anything, really.
Right. So it's not selling, but I need to sell something. So I'm trying to figure out, like, but the 2 objectives would be, I want to do this with your friends, like get into new social networks, so it expands everything, and then gets them into my customer group, like you're saying.
Yeah.
But
so for you, it would be if I get this many Shakeology orders, if I get this many workout orders or what program orders, then I'll give you, you want her to have some type of benefit in this.
Can you think of any ideas, just like if we have a group and it's like, learn about Shakeology and workouts, like they're just not going to do it. So I'm trying.
Right. It's just like with my series. So like when I do my series, I'm coming up with like a different spin
value
every time.
And then how do you like then cut to the sale, the call to action? Like, when does that come in? And
I always have my link in the comments, and I always say link to purchase in comments. And for me, it is a little easier because there's rewards to give away. So in my series, I do give my rewards away, like for my personal and my customer.
Right. Like if you were in a group like that, and let's say we're just doing different, you're learning a little bit about yoga, or you're learning clean eating or whatever. Like, I'm just wondering what the balance is of, if our goal is to get you into a challenge group with real results with the products that are going to get you there, then when do we bring that up? And how often do we bring it up? And then, like, if for the hostess is the reward that if you get, for every person that gets a challenge group pack, you get this. So I'm just wondering, like, I think it's the sales piece. I think we are good at offering value in ourselves and could get better at that. But to me, it's like the crutch is like that sales piece of so I don't know if you have any.
Yeah, I think for you, it's going to be making sure that you have the product in your videos, in your pictures, because I'm never actually giving a sales pitch, but I'm always using the product, always. So, which I know it's a little different, but, in some way, making sure that the product is in whatever you're talking about. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just talk about clean eating in one video. Like, you've got to incorporate somehow one of the programs or Shakeology or something into that. So that they're hearing it and they're seeing it over and over and over again. Because most of my sales come at the end of my parties after they've heard everything.
That's when, and then you do this, like, one more call to action. How often are you doing like a call to action?
Let's see, on the 8th day, I'll say there's 3 days left. So, I do that. And then on day 9 and 10, I'm just reminding them, you have, 2 more days left. This is the last day. Help your friend out.
So yours is like all with the intention to buy. Ours is almost like we have to figure out how to add the value.
Yes.
And give.
So the first 7 days of my parties are all makeup tutorials, basically using the products.
Okay.
And then the last 3 days are like talking about purchasing, basically.
Okay. So even if we talked maybe a little bit about how how a 30-minute workout can be efficient, or yoga and the different parts. And we just showed like, well, in this one, I'm going to teach you something from 21 Day Fix that I learned. And this is something that people don't think about. I want you to think about your nutrition. And I learned about my nutrition with these 21 Day Fix containers and Shakeology. People don't know about adaptogens. I want to teach you about adaptogens today. And so just make it like learning, but
about the product. Right.
And then adding lots of entertainment value is how you can get away with it, kind of.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's super
I got to go get Jack, Ashley. I just realized I'm like, oh, I have to go pick my son up.
You have to what?
I have to go get Jack.
Oh, yeah. Go do that. Sorry, everybody, that I took up so many questions.
No, good question.
Kara, if I have any more, because I have to go too, can I have them write down in the chat and message you and just post
Absolutely.
a board?
Just make sure they say they're from you, because I get ridiculous questions from people you wouldn't believe. So just make sure that they say they're on your team, or else I may ignore them.
Yeah. Believe me, I'm sure. I have hashtag searched Instagram for Younique to be like, well, what color does this really look like? And I'm like thinking, what in the heck are these people doing? Yeah, it's very sad. But that's the great thing. It's an opportunity that's accessible to anybody, and we get paid for our skill and our entertainment value, and and our confidence. And so, you did a great job, Kara. I'm so thankful that you did.
Well, I want you to return the favor for me.
I would love to, and I'll change out of my sweaty. I'm like in focus mode. So shower did not make it on the schedule right away.
All right. Well, bye, girls. Thank you.
We appreciate it.